Hello vinyl community, Brad Vinyl Guy here. Thought I'd do a video about my Record Store Day 2017 experience. Show you some of the stuff I bought and what I got up to on that day. So, bit different this year for me. The shop that I normally go to aren't doing Record Store Day anymore because they're deemed by the powers that be to not be a shop. They're mainly an internet operation. They just sort of open the doors on Record Store Day really. So it's a bit of a shame because I've been there the last couple of years. I got to the Record Store Day experience with them round about 7:30ish to 2 years I was there the previous year, about an hour before they were due to open. And last year I was only about 48th in the queue or something like that. They give you all numbers so you all stay in line and everything. So it's a bit of a shame from that point of view because it was quite an easy place to get the records from. And a shame for the company more than anything because, you know, they provided a pretty good service. They're a friendly bunch of people. And they've probably lost quite a lot of revenue from that, so a bit of a shame. I know people have mixed feelings about Record Store Day and what it represents and all that kind of thing, but I don't mind queuing up for a little while because you're going to have these things hopefully for the rest of your life. Some of them are quite hard to come by. I mean, the main reason for me, it's not just the limited editions. It's usually, for me, it's getting stuff that's hard to find otherwise. So the rarities, you know, the stuff that you'd have to pay a lot of money for normally, and it's being brought out for Record Store Day. Yeah, inflated prices compared to what you'd normally pay, but still a lot cheaper than you would pay if you wanted an original pressing. So it's got its ups and downs, and I'll take on board what everybody says about it. See both sides of the coin, hopefully, with that one. So for me, it was more like a record store weekend than Record Store Day, because I was sort of determined to get the things that I wanted. Had a short list of 6 eventually, after a bit of a knockdown. Had sort of mixed results with it. Didn't set myself an alarm on the day. Just thought I'll wake up when I wake up. I was quite sort of laid back about it. If I don't get the things I want, then maybe I can get them later online. Not the end of the world. But there's some people like to get there the night before, very early in the morning. And I think there was something going on here because I woke up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning. I think I was probably a bit excited. A bit different for me this year because I was going on my own. I normally go with my girlfriend, but physically she's not up to it anymore, unfortunately. She's got quite some serious back problems, spinal problems. She can't really stand in line for too long. So I braved it on my own. It's quite a nice day, it's quite sunny, a bit on the cold side, but I got talking to a guy in the queue. I was queuing for over 3 hours, but I don't mind, because you know, like I said, these things are going to be with you forever, and the time went really fast when I was talking to this guy. You talk about all the same sort of things that you expect to talk about, all things vinyl and how much we love it, and the usual stuff we talk about in the VC really. He was after a couple of things. It's quite interesting to see what, you know, if he got what he wanted and all that kind of thing. So this was the bag that my stuff came in with that particular shop. And I went to Crash in Leeds, Crash Records in Leeds. That's my most local shop. I buy records from there occasionally. Yeah, they've got a good second-hand shop downstairs as well. That's another business. Buy some stuff down there sometimes. Tend to buy more gig tickets at Crash and t-shirts, tote bags, that sort of thing. But I've supported them pretty much since they've been there on and off. So it's a good shop, and the staff are always really friendly. The guy in charge is a really nice guy as well. So I got some freebies while I was stood in the queue. A CD sampler, a metal sampler it looks like to me. I've not opened this one yet, but going from the bands that are on it: Halloween, Creator, Tankard, Running Wild, Skyclad, Gravedigger and more. Nice freebie there. A couple of lanyards for the O2 Academy, which is a venue that's a mile up the road from there, not even that. I've seen some really good bands play over the years. A couple of those. And a couple of guitar picks as well. Quite nice, neat little guitar picks there. Particularly useful for me, as I'm a keyboard player. But they're nice to have though, aren't they? And you'll take anything for nothing. Nice Live at Leeds tote bag. Could have had a Record Store Day 10th anniversary, which I've seen a few people show, but I thought I'd go for this one as well. Awesome merchandise on the back there. That's nice as well. Very friendly bunch of people. That's why we were in the queue. So what did I buy, more importantly? Well, from the short list of 6 that I had, I managed to get 4 of the things I wanted, which was pretty good because I must have been, I don't know, about 250 to 300 back in the queue, way back. But the queue was moving, you know, quite sensibly. I mean, it's quite a small shop if you don't know it, and most of you won't. And what they were tending to do was let a few people in at a time, like I've seen in a lot of your videos that you've made, where you've shown sort of live videos of what you've done. So people going in twos and threes. The staff behind the counter were absolutely fantastic. You know, hats off to Crash. Super organised. I mean, I think it seems to work a little bit different in the UK to the way it does in America and Canada. We can't get our hands on anything. Everything's behind the counter, and you have to tell the staff what you want behind the counter, and they pick it all out for you, and then price it up, and you pay, and you're out. Whereas I think in America they'll let you in the queue, or in the line, sorry, and you can get your hands on stuff and help yourself to stuff. I think that's what I've seen in the videos. I'm sure that's probably been talked about in the VC before, the differences between the two. But certainly the 4 or 5 shops that I've been to since Record Store Day started have all done it. Everything behind the counter. Tell them what you want, haul it out. So with me being so far back in the queue, the main 2 things I wanted, I didn't think I would get, because these are quite limited, and I thought people would go for them in a big way. First one is the Cocteau Twins 4 Calendar Cafe. This originally came out in 1993, and if you're looking for a copy of that, and it was only pressed in the UK and Greece at the time, you're looking at about £130 for one in decent condition now. And they are out there, I have seen them, but £130 is a lot of money, isn't it? Back is similar to the front, it's the gatefold. And this, like I said before, this is the upside of Record Store Day for me. You know, I wouldn't have paid £130 for this album, as much as I like it, but £30, I'm happy to pay that for it. This is on purple vinyl. Nice brown Fontana label there. Yeah, 1993 originally. Great to have finally on vinyl. I think I've got most of their other albums on vinyl, so, and some of those are quite hard to come by too. So I was just even more pleased to get the Cocteau Twins Milk and Kisses. Again, same price, around the £30 mark. This one, again, double album, like the other one, gatefold. Exactly the same with this one, originally came out in 96. Even harder to get than 4 Calendar Cafe. Never seen a copy of this before in the wild. Only pressed in the UK originally. Very, very hard to get hold of. And this one comes on milky white vinyl with custom labels. So, again, £130 if you want to buy it from Discogs or out in the wild. Never seen it before, so for £30, double album, I'm happy about that. Yeah, £20 would be better. £10 would be better. Okay, next. This is a compilation that I really wanted to get. Came out on CD, I think, in 2007 originally. Had 25 tracks on the CD. Insane Times, and this is, as it says on here, 21 British psychedelic artifacts from Parlophone and associated labels. Mono and stereo. Compilation album of psychedelic, mainly on the poppy side of psychedelic, I would say. You'll probably recognise some of the artwork from some of the sleeves here. But really nice gatefold with this one. Again, a double album, around the £20 mark. Talks about all the separate songs on here, all the bands that made them. And there's some more mainstream stuff on here, like it starts off with Kevin Ayers' song for Insane Times, which is what the album's named after. Sung by July on here, Dandelion Seeds that I've got on one of their albums, sung by Tomorrow. There's a Holly's song on here and the Yardbirds. So those are all more stuff that I know of, but there's some quite rare tracks on here as well. Ones that are very hard to get on vinyl or virtually impossible to get. Ones that just came out as singles and that was all the band did. Or they may have made one album. So there's songs by The Gods, Penny Peeps. There's an Idle Race song, Hurry Up John, which is more well known. A band called The Orange Bicycle, Tales of Justine, Simon Dupree and the Big Sound, Herbal Mixture, The Parking Lot. Yeah, check it out online if you're interested in this one. Yeah, it's only got 21 of the original 25 that were on the CD, but you know, I'm happy with that. First time it's been out on vinyl as a compilation. This one comes on turquoise vinyl with a nice Parlophone label. So yeah, really nice to have some of the rarities on there. And the final thing I picked up, the fourth of the 6 things I was after, was a single by the Smiths, The Boy with the Thorn in His Side. And this particular version was a demo mix, which I don't think I have elsewhere. I'm quite a Smiths collector. And also on the B-side is another version of Rubber Ring, and this is an early Drone Sessions version. So 2 different versions of Smiths songs that I never had. And yeah, that was about the £10 mark. Not too much, I don't think, to pay for a single on Record Store Day. One that's probably going to come quite collectible, I would imagine. I think there are about 5,000 of this press this time, so there are a lot out there. Yeah, they'd all sold out, I think, by the end of Record Store Day. So really pleased to get that. Again, bearing in mind I was quite late back in the queue. So I had a couple of things missing. Couldn't go out again on the Sunday, the day after, but the day after that, the Monday, I was able to get out to a couple of shops, not too far away from where I live, about half a mile drive to the first one, and that was a shop near York. And I looked at the list of things they were stocking on Record Store there, and they didn't have everything that I'd wanted originally, which is why I didn't go. One of the reasons why I didn't go there originally. Could have rung them up, but I thought I'll pop up there anyway. It'd been, I think it was last summer when I went there last time, and it's a good second-hand shop. It's quite a small shop from the outside when you look, but when you go in, it's like the TARDIS. It's absolutely masses of stuff in there, massive selection. Price-wise, they're a little bit pricey. Nothing, not terrible, but more than I would want to pay a lot of the time, like a lot of shops. But you can find the odd bargain in there, like Cam and everything. You know, prices change, don't they? And sometimes we're on board with it, sometimes shops aren't. So it was nice to get up there and have a chat with the guy who runs the shop. Very friendly. Again, straight over to us as soon as we went in. We told him we were looking for the leftovers from Record Store Day, asking him if he had a couple of things in there. And he had quite a few things left we were pleased to see. But what was great about going there was that he said, "Oh, I've still got a lot left from 2016 and 2015. If you want to have a look at the stuff I've got there, and what I'm doing with all of that from now on, all the albums I've got, I'm selling for £5, but it's on a one-for-one basis with the stuff you buy. So if you buy one 2017 thing, you can have one 2016 or 15 thing for £5 an album. Obviously, all still sealed, all the stuff. Any 10-inch or 12-inch singles, £3, and any 7-inch singles, you can have them for £2. So I thought, wow, this is great. Quickly found 3 things from this year that I wanted. One of them was on my main list of 6. The other couple of things I'd been less bothered about, but when I saw them there, I put my hands on them. They were good prices. Yeah, let's have them. But in the meantime, I picked up a pile of stuff from 2015 and 16, as you would, because it was ridiculously cheap. And he said, "Oh, I'll put it all behind the counter for you. You can have a look at it at the end, decide which ones you want on your one-for-one, and we'll sort them out." But when it came to it, and by the time we bought lots of second-hand stuff too, he said, "Oh, I'll just throw those all in for £2, £3 and £5. So we'd got 3 albums, I think 13 7-inch singles, and we paid, quick maths, £41 for them all. And normally they'd have been, I don't know, close to 200, I think, if we'd have paid the full price. So that was just pig in muck. We were ecstatic, as you would be. But what I did get from there, Record Store Day wise, from this year, and I'll show the other stuff in a later video, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. An album I've wanted for a little while now and never got round to buying. It was kind of on just off my want list. So I've not sort of got recorded anywhere, but it's one that every psychedelic music fan should have, really, isn't it? I think, really. Wanted it with this original sleeve. You can get original pressings of it for around the £20 mark in reasonable condition, but I've always found them quite hard to find. And this was a similar price. Came with a couple of extras as well. So on the Sateric label, it's a yellow and red splatter, this one. So quite pretty. I'd have been happy it was on black vinyl, but it's quite nice. Should look interesting going around the turntable. And also a nice poster of Arthur as well. So a nice little extra there. Next up, this was one that I seriously thought about, but again it was sort of knocked off the long list. Because I'm a big fan of this chap, Julian Cope. Drunken Songs, so it's basically, as the title suggests, drinking songs. 5 songs on the first side and then an 18-minute epic on side 2. And I like this one because I was quite interested in to hear what it sounded like. A little bit of a risk. But he's got his whole family involved. So it's all written and produced by Julian Cope. Designed by Avalon Cope. Front cover by Julian Cope. And illustrations by Albany Cope. So his daughters are involved in this, which appealed to me as well. There's the back. And a nice inner with this one, which you don't get with a lot of Record Store Day stuff, do you? With the lyrics and some nice illustrations, and the back there, and the record just on black vinyl, and custom sleeve, Julian there. So like I said, big Julian Cope fan. I've got most of his stuff on vinyl. You can get most of it relatively cheap, apart from the 90s stuff. Also, while I was there, someone else who I'm a massive fan of, a solo singer, was Kevin Ayres. I mentioned him a few times in my videos. And this is Champagne and Valium on the first side, and My Speeding Heart on side 2. Again, about £7 mark for this one, so I don't mind paying that for a single. Limited edition on champagne coloured vinyl. And there's a great picture of Kevin there on the label. Just upside down. Oh no, both ways, isn't it? And track information on the other side. But yeah, big Kevin Ayres fan, so always pleased to pick up his stuff. Next one is a band I'm not a massive fan of, but again, once I had it in my hands, I thought, yeah, this is good value for money. Kasabian, not for everybody. I know they're a bit sort of blokey, which isn't my kind of thing. You're in Love with a Psycho. This is a new 10-inch single. And I just happened to, the night before I was flicking through Music TV, and one of the channels showed this song, and I quite liked it. It was a bit more poppy than their stuff normally is. I did like early Kasabian, particularly the first album. Some stuff since, but not as much. Just black vinyl, but similar to the front cover, nice heart there on the label and sketch on the other side. But at £9, I didn't think that was excessive for a 10-inch single, especially on Record Store Day. And yeah, I like the song on first hearing. Backed with Are You Looking for Action on the other side. And then, apart from the stuff that I've just mentioned, second-hand stuff that I got from them, the fantastic deal he did for us on the Record Store Day stuff from 2015 and 16, which again, shown in a later video. Suddenly came into head while I was in there and got talking to the guy, was that I would have quite fancied The Cure's acoustic hits. I'm a big fan again of The Cure. I'm lucky enough to have a lot of their picture discs and splatter vinyl stuff that they put out in the 80s. I mean, I've been quite surprised to see how much that's going for on Discogs these days. Crazy money. But that's another video I think I need to make. In the meantime, I was really, really pleased to pick up the acoustic hits, which is, like it says, acoustic versions of their very well-known songs. And a couple of people have showed their greatest hits, which I was tempted by. This is a double picture disc. That's sort of the main picture on the front there. Really nice gatefold with lots of pictures of Robert Smith from a photo session. And the second disc is pretty too. I know a lot of people are put off by picture discs and the quality of them, but I think these days that's a different story from what I've read and heard about pressings these days. That's that side star on there. So acoustic versions of The Cure's best known songs, Robert Smith. Boys Don't Cry, A Forest, Let's Go to Bed, The Walk, The Love Cats, In Between Days, Close to Me, Why Can't I Be You, Just Like Heaven, Lullaby, Love Song, Never Enough, Hi, Friday I'm in Love, Mint Car, Wrong Number, Cut Here and Just Say Yes. So I thought it was a really nice package to have. Not overly expensive, I didn't think, for a double picture disc, and great to have other versions, alternate takes of the songs that I know and love by The Cure. Next, this is one I've seen a couple of times being shown, Interstellar Overdrive by Pink Floyd. I think two versions of this put out on Record Store Day. There was a picture disc as well. I was quite happy to get this mono version. It's a 15-minute version, one-sided 12-inch, previously unreleased. It comes with a couple of extras. Again, one that was on the long list. Couldn't resist it when I saw it. What I should have mentioned with these three, The Cure, Pink Floyd, and the last one I'm going to show, I went down to Vinyl Tap in Huddersfield to get these. Again, about a 45-minute car drive away from York. When I decided I wanted The Cure when I was coming out of York, and they realised they didn't have it in the shop, just before I got in the car I made a quick call to Vinyl Tap in Huddersfield and asked them if they had it in. And they said, yeah, we have got one copy of it left. Will you be able to get down here today? Otherwise we can't guarantee it. I said, yeah, I'll be there as quick as I can. They were great. Just said, just leave your name at we'll leave your name at the till. Just come in, say who you are, say you're Brad. No problems, it'll all be there for you. And they were as good as gold. Great customer service again. Straight over to the counter. Oh, are you Brad? Yeah, that's me. Straight away, Joe came out. So the least I could do while I was down there was get some other stuff while I was there. Hence Pink Floyd. That's the inner that it came in. Nice psychedelic inner. Quite heavy card, that was nice. That's the record. Green. Label there, green and black. Nothing on the other side, because it's just a one-sided, so pretty cool there. And a really, really nice postcard with this one as well. I don't know if you can see that there. This is a picture taken early in January 1967, it says on the back. So yeah, nice little extras with that one. And also a small poster with this one as well. Again, very similar to the inner, but slightly different colouring. Same design. Pink Floyd Interstellar Overdrive, really nice to have that one. And finally, another compilation. Sharon's Signs to Cherry Red. There's a bit of a backstory behind this one, if you don't mind me just telling you about that quickly. This is like mainly female bands compilation of Cherry Red records. And there's a particularly important song on here that I really wanted. Some bands that you might sort of know on here are Marine Girls, Strawberry Switchblade, Dolly Mixture and Petticoats are on here, and Dawn Chorus and the Blue Tits, who have sort of an associate who's in that band. They do Teenage Kicks on here. But the main reason why I wanted to get this was because of a group called Trixie's Big Red Motorbike. The song's called A Splash of Red. Now Trixie's Big Red Motorbike are a band from the early 80s that were on a John Peel show in the early 80s. My girlfriend, like myself, we were massive John Peel fans in the 80s and 90s. And one particular night when she was about 14, she heard this band on that she really liked. I think they were being interviewed, probably in there to do a session for John Peel. This is the way she remembers it. She said she might not be 100% on this, but this is what she's said to me. And they were advertising their new single, and John Peel was effectively distributing it for them. You had to write into his show. I don't know if he would pass your personal details on to them or onto the distributor or somebody, and they would send the single out to you. And it was an EP. I think it was a 5-track EP or a 4-track EP. And so she wrote in, and she wasn't sure she'd heard anything. I think you just had to send a stamped address envelope, and they would send it to you. And lo and behold, a few days later, it arrived back, and she had it, and she played it and loved it. And I think it was a very sort of lo-fi, twee girl band sound that they had, from what she said. I've heard the stuff online, the stuff on YouTube by them. But this particular EP is like gold dust. You can't find it anywhere now. It's not even on Discogs. You've never seen it. Never seen it in the wild. Nothing. This band, there are other singles by them. They're a little bit on the expensive side that you can get on Discogs, but I think a lot of the stuff is in Japan, because I think apparently she says it appeals to Japanese teenagers. It's got that kind of young girl kind of sound to it. So it was great to get one of their songs on a compilation on vinyl. They did put out a CD of this last year that you can still buy, and we've got it, and it's like a 45, 46 tracker, so it's got lots of songs that aren't on the single vinyl here. There's only 16 on here of the 45. And they also put it out on vinyl last year. Very limited run of about 500 on red vinyl. Again, impossible to get unless you're really willing to pay inflated prices. But again, this was around the £20 mark. It's the same. I think it's the same version that they put out last year, but it's on black vinyl in terms of the tracks that are on it. So yeah, this is one that we never thought we would have, and just really, really pleased to get it. So yeah, we've got a lot to thank Record Store Day for from that point of view. And yeah, managed to get it a couple of days later, so really, really pleased. There is still one record that I'm after that I'll keep looking for, and hopefully I'll find that online or somewhere. But in the meantime, cheers for watching. See you on the next video. See you soon. Bye.